Hi and welcome to this video. So today I really didn't know what I wanted to do, and I've decided to talk a little bit about the books I am currently reading and what I finished so far this year, because I don't know what else to do. So I'm first gonna start with the two books I have read this year. The first was Watermoon, and it was a real disappointment. I'm not even sure what kind of rating I gave it. Anyway, the ending was really bad. During the whole book, really not much happened, and I've been really struggling to get through it because I just found it really, really boring and nothing much happened, and I really didn't like the end. Things happened at the end where I was left with way more questions than I was left during the book. So I don't know what else to say about this book. I've heard other people say it was disappointing, and I also thought so too. I did start this in January last year and only finished it, January this year. So that says, I think, a lot about this book. I personally would not recommend it. Then the next book I finished was King of Envy. I listened to it as the audiobook, the German audiobook, because I could only get that one with the library. It's the fifth book in the King of Sins series. I did like the first one, the second one, and the fourth one. I really didn't like the third one. And now the fifth one I did actually enjoy a lot. However, you should be aware of the content in here. Read the content notes before reading it. I enjoyed the story, so that was great. And if you like the other books, then maybe you'll like this one too. So I did enjoy this one. I'm going to give it 4 stars out of 5. It wasn't perfect, but it was good. So that's what I've read this year so far. I actually wanted to read a book every week, which didn't go so well until now. But I have a lot more books here that I already have started. So most of these I've started sometime last year. Not all of them, but most. I'm just gonna start with the beginning. So the first is Witch King by Martha Wells. Actually, I think I started this like 2 years ago. I'm only on page 14. I read the prologue, and it's been on my TBR ever since. I didn't have a problem with the prologue, so I just wasn't really in the fantasy mood, and I wasn't really in the fantasy mood for the entirety of last year, so that's probably why I haven't continued. I'm going to read the prologue again because it's been so long. Then the next is The Prince Without Sorrow by Maitri Vijasekara. I'm not sure if that's correct. I think this will move up on the list of all of these, because I got an email notification that the second book is going to come out soon. Actually, I think you can pre-order it tomorrow, so I kind of have to. So I have a list over here. Yeah, only read the first chapter, so not far into it, but I did like the writing style from that part, so going to read this. Yeah, the next is Overgrowth by Mara Grant. I read till page 66. I think that's the first 2 chapters, and so far I really enjoy it. I just stopped reading because actually I'm not even sure sometimes why I stopped reading. In this case, I just wasn't in the mood for reading, and then I decided I'm going to first finish Watermoon because I started it first, but I think yeah, I should continue with this. I really like the topic, so it should actually be quite an easy read. Yeah, then the next is Of Jade and Dragons by Amber Chen. I read like the first few chapters, maybe just to it. I'm on page 32. Yeah, I wanted to read this before buying the second book in this duology. I think it's a duology. I now already have the second book because if you bought, I think 3 or 4 books, you got like a certain percentage off. So yeah, that's why I have the second book, but I really should read on in this. Yeah, then the books where I'm further along, which is good. In A Song of Legends Lost, I'm on page 368. I really enjoy this book, however it takes more brain capacity to read this because the language is so well, complex. Let's say complex. It's a high fantasy, so that's on top of that. And yeah, it takes a lot of brain power to keep up with all of the names, all of like the magic systems in here, and everything that's going on in here. I think it's going to be a trilogy. Yeah. The other thing that's quite exhausting about reading it is every or almost every chapter the point of view changes, and it's usually at very different places in this world. So once you're reading some action scene and then someone's in the forest. So yeah, that's why I thought it's kind of exhausting to read, because you always have to keep up with all of the different strands of the story. But otherwise it's really good and I enjoyed it so far. I think last time I read like I think 300 pages in one go, like with short breaks in between. Yeah, that's why I probably stopped reading in here. Yeah, then the next book is The Raven Scholar. You can see I am almost finished. I'm on page 516. I have like 130 pages left, but I'm listening to this as an audiobook. Yeah, so I wanted to listen to it recently, but Audible reset my progress. So yeah, I first have to check with this book where I am, on which chapter, so I can put that in, because I had like 3 hours left and now it says I think 14. Yeah, I'm listening to it quicker than normal speed, so that's why it's a little bit shorter for me. Yeah, then the next book and the last is, no, not the last, I have an ebook as well. Yeah, the almost last book is the Jazad Air. I also already have the second book in this duology, the Jazad Crown. It's up there on my shelf. I'm not sure what to think about this book. I don't hate it. I also don't like it much. So it's been getting better in the last chapter. I have decided to read to page 200. If I don't like it, I'm going to stop. There's no point in me trying to force myself through the book. Yeah. I'm going to actually try reading a little bit today, and then we'll see how far I'm in it. I know how far I'm in it. How I'm going to like it. That's what we are going to see. And yeah, the last book is an ebook. It's Escaping Fate by Regine Abel. I'm on page, I think, 80 out of 320. I do like her books. It's just that I'm not really an ebook reader, which is why it takes me so long. If I'd have it as a physical copy, I probably would have finished it already. So yeah, I also do enjoy that book, and I'm sure I'm going to like the entire thing, which is very different than all of these books where I'm not so sure about it. But yeah, thank you for listening to me talk a little bit about what my plans are for the next months. In case in like the reading thing. And yeah, I hope we see each other next week. Bye!